What's the hardest part about the screenwriting process for you?
Uh, on good days, like I always try to get a routine. You know, always as a writer, always get a routine. Like mine, I had set up a low expectation of like 2 pages a day. Like it's doable because you can't make excuse like, oh, I was too busy to do this. Like 2 pages a day, you could do it. Like I was recently, because usually when I write scripts, I don't have a gun to my head where it's like I could write an actual feature. Like I've written features, like a lot of them, in 2 to 4 days. Like I could write a 90 to 120 page script in 2 to 4 days. Like I have no problem creating content and then spend a week and 2 weeks to editing. Recently I started writing a horror feature for a horror company where I was not motivated about it. Like it was work. I was like actually like, oh my God, they want something. They're expecting this, and this. And I'm like, and it took me 5 weeks just to write a 77-page first draft. Like I try to keep my stuff between, like when I direct stuff, 75 to 85 pages because I just want short, simple, be like, okay, we could do this low budget, easy, no problem. But it was so hard to write this one script. And horror is my genre. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, why is this taking so long? But yeah, it's just like, I literally have to send it in tomorrow, which is, it's done, thank God. But 5 weeks, like that was killer. I'm sitting there, I'm like 77 pages, like, oh my God, like keep at it, because I wanted to quit so many times. Like my self-doubt was less like, you're a hack, you're a fraud, quit, go, you're gonna be working at Pizza Hut or McDonald's for the rest of your life. You leave it to real writers. But yeah, but you just have to kind of like overcome that obstacle. So it's like, whatever you do is just like, don't listen to the naysaying, like especially your own worst critic. Like I always have to remind myself, like, okay, you know, like I watched the movie the other day and it was just like, oh, okay, because it was very similar in style. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm not that far off on what I want to do, because they wanted this certain style movie. And I'm like, oh, okay, very specific in writing it. And I was just like, oh, how can I do this? This is starting to look like garbage. I'm horrible. I'm burn the script. But I kept at it, and then I was just like, oh, okay. Kind of reminder, like, oh, okay. I'm heading in the right direction. But just keep on writing, even if it's just crap. Like, go to like the Starbucks. I know I'm one of those cliche writers writing in Starbucks. Everyone working on a screenplay. Write about something just totally random, like your coffee cup or whatever that's in front of you. Just use it as an exercise. Free write. Don't let format, don't let structure and rules block you. Just write. And then if you feel like you got something, then structure it. Like everyone always puts like, oh, but act 1 has to do this, act 2 have to do this. I'm like, just know the rules, but break it. Like, cause you're your own person, like you're your own artist. Everyone has their own path.
What's been the hardest lesson about the industry for you to learn?
Hardest? I guess expectations sometimes, where like you get like rejection. I don't mind. Like rejection, like when people say no, like that's like whatever. Okay, it's like girlfriend saying no, or a chick saying I don't want to date you. I don't know. Okay, that's cool. Like for example, the TV pilot I directed. Everyone had like high expectations of it, and it was like big. We had like, oh, this is really good. Like, oh, we're gonna do this, and like, oh, this is gonna go places, because we had a production company, and it was a TV pilot presentation for them, and we had some issues with the whole certain aspects of it for production, normal, but they went back and the showrunners re-edited everything. Like I wasn't even in the editing room. They went and shot certain segments with a different DP without telling me an original DP. And my original DP is like an Emmy winner, so he was like already like, I didn't shoot this crap. And it was just like, you could tell they used a different camera. It was poor, it was bad. And I just remember like them showing it, and then the people at the company were like, who directed this crap? And they still kept my name as a director. I was just like sitting like hiding, like, oh, I was like, I directed this, but I didn't write and I didn't edit. And I was like, wow, like that. I was just like, my directing career is over. The main person in this company says this is crap. Oh, like, so expectation where you do certain projects thinking it's going to go one way, and then the end result doesn't match what happens. You're like, oh, I guess it happened a lot of my time in my career where it's just like, especially in my 20s, where I had a lot of opportunities, but then you're like, think you know everything. So you're like, I'm 20, I know how everything works. And you sit there like, oh, it didn't work that way. Okay. So that's the biggest thing, I think. Trying to think what else. I have no problem working with name people, like directing and stuff. Like, that's never been a problem. Always been funding. Funding and budgets are always also a big thing. Because when I started out, like, I self-fund a lot of my stuff. But the more I do it, bigger my projects get, bigger the budget. So we had to do crowdfunding one time. And we'd never do that again because that's a waste of time. A lot of people talk about crowdfunding, saying that's important to do. It's very difficult to do. And a lot of times it's their cousin and their mom donating money and not someone who's like in Wichita, Kansas, who don't know, like, why am I going to donate to this? It's usually family and friends. So it's like, why not just go to your family and friends like, hey, create an LLC or a incorporation. It's like, hey, you want to do this? You'll get you a couple of kickbacks and stuff like that. People don't think that. And now I'm looking at for investors because it's just like they're getting bigger scope. And that's what happened with one of my short films is that it was like $5,000 we were looking for. And people were like, but it's a short film. And we had like one investor came in and then they left like 2 weeks before shooting. And you're sitting here just like, it's like, oh, we really needed that $2,500 type thing. So yeah.